점수 출수 중입니다.
you know.
출소 중입니다.
Shall we not? Shall we not? Step up. Juno, step up. Step up. Thank you. Why are you biting just because I'm doing my skincare? Stop it, please. Stop attacking. Do you want to be held like a burrito? Is that what it is? Thank you for your assistance. I can do this. Look.